So, if you're not familiar with this series,
if you live in the Chattanooga area,
what in the world?
And you are tired of saddle.
I'm monitoring the comments on my phone, and I didn't realize that it was going to do that. Sorry. Let me start over. Maybe I can edit that part out later. This series is a series of videos I'm doing for a project in Texas. One of my viewers saw my SketchUp projects and knows that I'm a design and build contractor, and also knows that I plan everything out this way and do drawings. I don't like, if I'm doing this for someone else, I get into a lot more detail than if I'm doing it for myself. If I'm doing a project for myself, I just do the modeling of it. I do basic stuff just for my own purposes. But obviously when I'm doing it for somebody else, I have to get into more detail, and that's what I'm going to do today is work on the Soffit, the fascia and Soffit framing. So I thought that might be, I don't know, somebody might find that interesting. But I thought I'd start with something simple, like here's a nice little corner we can work on. And I made these rafters components, and this is one reason why I did that, is because now I can go in here and change one of them when I start to get into details like this. And after we've gotten past this sort of schematic phase where we've got everything kind of laid out and where we want it, I can go in and edit them. Let's see, I think what I'll do first is, let's see, am I in the roof? First I have to decide, you can see I got really way too many layers over here. I need to decide where I'm going to put, yeah, I'm going to put this in roof framing. Okay, so I'm going to draw myself a 2x6 subfascia, and to do that first I'm just going to draw it. Let's see, that would be, it would be 5.5 by, let's just make it 12 inches long right now, and it's 1.5 inches thick, 0.5, and then we'll make a, oops, I don't want to do that. We'll make a group out of that. I don't want to make it a component because it'll be a different length for every location, so make a group. Now what I can do is, let's see, I want to situate that fascia board where this is a sub fascia. This is the sub fascia that will go up before your fascia board. Now what this will do is you want to lower it so that it doesn't interfere with the plane of the roofing. So if I were to take myself a construction line and just run it over here, I could see it looks like if I hold it right there, let's just bring this over to the end. So one of the goals I'm trying to meet, or that I have for these videos, is particularly or specifically to communicate with the owner, since he's in Texas, but also do this on a regular basis for my channel to show people how you can use SketchUp to plan your projects. Now I don't get paid by SketchUp or anything. I just think it's a good tool, and while I'm talking I'm losing my way here. So let me click off of it so I can get rid of the blue. The reason that looks funny when I click on it is because the axis, this part of the building is on a 45 degree axis, so that's why this group thing looks funny. Otherwise it would just be a blue rectangle around the object that you made a group out of. But if I go over here and I look at my roof slope, I can see that that 2x6 is not in the way. It's not going to interfere. The metal roofing can just come right down over, and that's why I drew that 2x6 first, is because now what I would do is in the field, well, I would actually, this is actually something that would be done while you're cutting the rafters. I just knew since I was doing it in CAD I could do it afterwards easy, so I'm going to cut that off right here, and you'll see that since I made it a component, you'll see all these rafter tails change when I do this one. See, voila. And that's, if you plan your drawing out properly, that's, if I had made all of these rafters just groups, I would have had to go in and edit every one of them, or edit one of them and then copy it over again. But that's how you do that. You would cut that, and there's still a 2x4 plate I need to put in here. That's why the rafters are sitting up. I need to go around and put that plate in that goes on top of the floor system. But that's how your rafter tail would be cut. Excuse me. I have to watch every now and then. Now this barge rafter is a little different. Let me click on it. It'll get cut too. I'm not seeing the end of it there. That's weird. Did I not bring that? That should be okay. Yeah, there's a little gap in there for some reason. Oh well. Hey, it's like in real life. I'm showing you. In real life that could happen. So we would take this and nip this off, on the ground too before we put it up, when we're building this. But I have the convenience of CAD, so I can do it afterwards. But that's the beginning of your soffit framing. And then what happens is you would have there's several different ways to do this. You can take yourself a line and let's just pull one from over here, from there now, and it would be intersecting with that. And why is that like that? That's weird. Pull it from the top of the wall because it looks like it's a little out of line. There we go. If that construction line disappears into the wall, that means this is not perfectly coplanar with the wall, which again is kind of like what would happen in real life, but it's not supposed to happen in CAD. But anyway, I'm a builder. I'm a design builder. I'm not although I have been doing CAD work for 25, 30 years, I'm still not an expert, so bear with me if we have little inconsistencies. But now, one of the easiest and fastest ways to do this is just take a 2x4 and nail it. And I'm trying to think if this is what I want to do. Let's just make that 16 inches for now by 3.5. And we will pull down 1.5 inches. The reason that you would do this way is because it makes a great backer. And you got to be careful when you're grabbing stuff for your groups that you don't grab. As a matter of fact, I think I'll take that back to here and just grab those. I have grabbed stuff that shouldn't have been in the group before. There we go. Now what would happen is if I did use a 2x4, which is kind of a waste of a material, you can use a 2x2, and this is probably the most efficient way to do this. Is we used to take 2x4s and rip them in half, which would be 1.75, like that. So that's what a 2x2 would look like, ripped in half. And then it's you nail it on the wall flush, level with where these are nipped off, and you run it out. You let it cantilever all the way out to here, like that. And see, that becomes the basis for your return on your soffit. Now that's why a lot of people would just use a 2x4. Now one thing you can do is use a 2x4. If I were just to make this go back up 1.75, you can use a 2x4 on the ends where it cantilevers out like that, and then use 2x2s on a long run, like here. You could use a 2x4 on the end and just use 2x2s for that, and you wouldn't have any wasted material that way. You could use less 2x4s, but this is the strongest way to do it. And that 2x4 runs all the way to there. Okay, so that's that. Then what you have are, where is that? Let's get rid of our construction lines. Now what you have is your blocking, your let's see, which side are we going to put these on? Let's just put them on this side. So your 2x4 blocking is going to be and I started to put this blocking in with each rafter. You could do that. It'd be kind of interesting to do, where you just included a 2x4 block. Let's just, I don't know. I'm trying to resist that for some reason, but because I think somewhere it's going to bite me in the butt. Like I'm going to have to. Let's see, what's that? That would be 3.5 if I had a 2x4 by inch and a half, 1.5. And you can see down here on the bottom right, you can see the dimensions I'm entering. And then that block, let's say I need to make that a group. You don't want to have a bunch of, you always want to be drawing in layer 0. All your geometry should be drawn in layer 0. And you should really make groups like this of items. And again, it's got that funky group thing going on because it's on a weird angle to the axis of the drawing. So that's like that. That's just a block. And then they would be beside each. You would typically nail them just so you didn't have to lay them out. They would be nailed beside each rafter. And since that's so close, we don't really need one there. So let's put one here, and now I'm just copying them. Oops. Dang, I got some of the wall. Dang, don't do that. And then you can just, if you have a long run, you can just copy these, running times 3. Now, and see, this is why it gets a little funky. This block would have gone right here, like that, and that one's fine. So you see, that's kind of how I can get out of the wall. And I'm not going to bore you with doing this whole house, but that's how you would frame. And then the one out here, not sure why, what happened to the, oh, this one got pulled out somehow, like that. And then the one on the end would be, I'm just going to draw it because when it doesn't get an angle, you can see. You would cut yourself a triangular block to go from here, there, and then whatever width you would make it out of. Maybe it's it wouldn't go all the way up. That would be, well, you could. That's only 10 inches, like that. See, and then it would be cut out of a 2x, which means this would be 1.5 inches. And that's how this is all framing now. This is not something that's going to be exposed. This is just your framing you do before you put your, make a group out of that. You see, and that's your framing for your soffit. Well, then you would come up here and put yourself a short 2x4 going from here. See if I can keep it on the axis, down 3.5, back over to here, back up. Let's make a group out of this. This is why I joke sometimes that it's easier to build things in real life than draw them. Because I could just grab a 2x4 and cut it. You know, I wouldn't have to make it a group and all that. 1.5, just like that. So then, there you go. Now, that's the back of your return. That's all your soffit framing. And you're standing here on the scaffolding, you know, and that's how you nail all this stuff up. Now, what I'm going to do for the main drawing, I'm not going to get into too many details. In other words, I'm just going to draw probably the subfascia and the soffit material. And speaking of soffit, let's make ourselves, I don't know why this rafter seems to be hanging down more. I think it's this block. Looks funny. Yeah, it's the block. And that's the other thing I was talking about. I could grab this block and nail it up, and I would never have that trouble in real life. I made this block too long. That's what it is. But I'm not going to worry about it right now. I'm going to continue on. So let's make ourselves a piece of soffit material, which in modern times is why is my back 2x4 too high? That's odd. This 2x4 seems to be too high. I'm not sure how I did that. There. I was wondering why this block didn't seem to want to act right when I was drawing it. Alright, I don't want to get caught up in the minutia. Again, I could have built this thing faster than drawing it. But let's see if I'm still broadcasting. I'm still broadcasting. Yep. Alright, so let's let's draw ourselves a piece of soffit here. That would be, we're just going to start out with a piece of it. This is something weird's going on here. Not quite sure why I'm having the troubles I'm having. Mainly because this is not sticking out. let's just draw ourselves a piece in the air. Just draw ourselves a piece out here. So that's 1'10". Let's make it, well, it's going to be 16 inches by 48. Then we'll make it 3/8 of an inch thick. Let's see, the modern soffit material, the modern hardy soffit material is 5/16. And we'll make that a group, and then I'll pull it up. And I'll spin her around. And this is the axis problem. Not a problem, but the issue that I'm running into with this being on a 45-degree angle. I'm having to turn everything. So that would be a piece of factory width, and it's not going to cover. That's going to be fine though, because, and I'll show you why, because we're going to have stone on the house, and that'll cover that gap. But you want to be able to use standard, lengths and widths of material, and then that'll come all the way to there, and that's your soffit. And now one thing just occurred to me is that actually this is where we don't have to worry about widths, because we'll have on this size soffit, we'll have a vintage soffit. So what I'm thinking about doing is using like a standard 6-inch piece, and then you'd leave your gap. It's 2-inch gap. So what I really need to do is draw myself a piece of, let me get down here where I can see. Let's see, how am I going to do this? I'm going to copy this. Then I'm going to go in that group and I'm going to paste it. Let's see. Wait a minute. Copy. Paste, there we go. I'm going to actually put that over here so I can make another group out of it. Why am I getting a little wacko with my mouse here? Then I'm going to make another group out of that, and then put it. Oh Jesus. You gotta be careful when you're zooming in out in space, because it doesn't know where you are in space. So now I'll put myself a 2-inch line here and move this over to there, and then this piece would be, what would it be? We'll just run this one all the way over to there, and we'll measure it and then make it, that's 9. So what you could do is, well, it's just going to have to be some ripping down, so no big deal. That's life in the construction business. ripping. And then you would have, I don't have a 2-inch. Let me show you how you can do this. You can go to, I'm not on SketchUp. You can go to 3D Warehouse and check to see if they've got a 2-inch Soffit vent. 2-inch Soffit vent. Let me just make it 2-inch vent. See if that'll find it. Well, they've got these circle ones. I'll just come back in, and that's going to take a little time to draw. So probably what I'll do is make myself a group of the Soffit material. I wonder if I typed continuous. Continuous. Well, I could search forever, but let me just show you what it is for those who don't know. 2-inch continuous vent. See, it's this stuff right here. Oh, this is the most typical type. It's just it's made for the thickness of your material, and then it would just go. That's not the one I usually use. I think the ones we use are aluminum. Let's see, what is this? Something like this, but that's upright. It would be flipped over, so. And it would go in this gap. You nail it up. Let's see if I can find a picture of it installed. You actually nail it up first, and then you put your soffit on either side of it. Here's a good picture. See?
Tired of cleaning your gutters? We'll clean your gutters.
Didn't want that. So you put one side up, and you don't nail it close right here. Then you can slide the vent beside it, and then you put the other piece up. And so that's what will be in that gap there. Now we're out to our fascia board. Now you can start to see where you go from framing to finish here. And so for our fascia board, what we'll do, you know what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy this fascia, this sub fascia out here, and then I can just edit it. I'll just make it 3/4. We'll push it back 3/4, and then it would be a 1/8, and that's 7 1/4, 7.25. See, it'll hang down. Oops. Thought I was using the. Okay, like that. That'll give you a nice little reveal. Now, what you'll do though is you don't want it in your roof plane either. So your roofing will already be on. Well, sometimes it's on, sometimes it's not. But you see how that interferes with the slope of the roof? So your fascia board is dropped down until it doesn't. Let me give myself something to intersect with here. Yeah, your fascia board would drop down to where it doesn't interfere with your roof, just like that. See, you don't notice that because when the roof is installed, it hangs over your fascia board and you just never see it. Like that. Isn't that neat? And so that's basically your soffit, or your vent would be there. I wonder if I could draw something to sort of mimic a vent, just to show. Well, yeah, I'm not going to spend time on that. But now here's where it gets fun, and here's where, this is why I don't like returns on houses. If you'll see, if you go back and look at my projects that I build for myself, the houses that I build for myself, that was a good time to check. Broad casting. Don't have all this junk right here. I let the soffit follow. I use the same size bar drafter. I don't downsize the bar drafter. And I let the soffit just be come down and go around. It stays sloped. In other words, the soffit gets nailed at the bottom. But on these types of houses where you have stone and stuff, you know, and stuff on here, it's nice to have, you know, a soffit to butt to. So for this style of house, it kind of makes sense. And then let's go ahead and put the back of our soffit material on here. This piece would just be, not sure how all this stuff got out of plane. Where is the end of that board? You see that? That's not coplanar. That just makes me mad. Somehow I'm going to draw myself a little piece here and make it a group. And it's going to be 5/16 too. What I'm talking about is I got something that's not coplanar, and so, and maybe you can't see that on your end, but then this piece will just go up until it butts into that, like that, and then your soffit coming down will butt into that, and then this comes down to here. Well, actually this comes down and hangs down and is flush with that, and you'll see why in a minute. And then it's cut to where it comes over to here, just like that, and that boxes in the back of your soffit. If I can get out of editing that group so I can show you that. See, and you're thinking, well, that's a bunch of built-up mess. Yeah, it kind of is, and that's why I don't like these kinds of soffits. Now what you do is you'll take yourself a 1x your fascia. I think what I'm going to do is just copy this thing and spin it around. I'm being lazy here. $90 degrees. And then I'm going to put it now. In real life we would miter this, okay? We wouldn't just lap it like that. Well, some carpenters would. I don't do that. I miter the fascia board where they come together, but I have seen people just overlap them out of laziness. Now what happens here is this comes back, this piece coming back goes back flush with this plus 1 inch. So you go back to there and then you let it hang over 1 inch this way, just to kind of give yourself a reveal that way. But you see now we got us a little boxed in. Let me get it to where you can see. See, you got yourself a little boxed in soffit there that comes around. Now some people use different materials for this back piece, but if you want it to be all one piece, you're going to have to use like a sheet of hardy soffit that's wide, because that's like 13 inches tall. You'd have to use a piece of 16-inch soffit. Well, you know what? You're going to have 16-inch wide soffit for this, so you're going to have that on the job anyway. Now, this is where it gets funky, to be honest with you, because there's several ways to do this, and I've seen it done both ways. Let me just show you. And again, this piece in real life, I miter these. Like I'll miter this. There would be a miter here like that. But for the sake of this, I'm just gonna. Well, I guess it wouldn't be that hard to do, would it? All I gotta do is, now that they're both up here, edit this and put it back here like that, and then edit this one and bring this. Yeah, it's not that big a deal out to here. So that's how it would be in real life. Well, a good carpenter would do that. Why can't I get out of that like that? You see how much more neat that looks than overlapping it. And the reason I wasn't going to do that is because now I got to make myself a new fascia board. But I'm going to copy this one and put it out here for a second and give myself a reference line. No comments? Good, I'm working. Leave me alone. And then I can put this line here, this line here. Bad news is now I need 2 reference lines, and this is why I wasn't going to do it, because it's kind of a pain in the butt to convert it back there. And where's my other reference line? Oh, right there. Alright, so you'll also have a 1x8 that is up here. And this is at the slope of the roof like that. And so what you do is you go up, you take this one up. How do I explain this? I'll just draw it. You take this board and it comes up until it hits this. Let's see, am I hanging down right properly back here? Yeah, this really doesn't actually go all the way up. I think I've got this decking material too thick, and I did that. Yeah, it's too thick, but it still works. It still hangs down a bit. So the point is, this board would come up and go over and come down to here. And why is that not closing? And again, making me mad. Got something that's not closing. Think of it. And this is what frustrates me about CAD work, is that I'm obviously telling it I want it to go right here, and it doesn't want to cooperate. Is this not up against, is that sticking out? Let me see if I can get this to, I don't think this is flush. Let's just put this for now right here on this corner. then it'll be flush. This is going to go way up here anyway, so if I were to just bring this up for right now, up wild like that, now I should be able to get closure now, because what I'm trying to show you is that this piece would be okay. Now I'm getting somewhere. I can tell that thought it was. This should close. What I'm going to have to do though is just raise this up, just to demonstrate this. This would be come up to there, and then this would, my pencil, this would be cut, well, over to here and then down to there. Dang it, dang it, dang it, dang it. You see, I should be able to see if I did it. Son of a gun, motherfucker. Sorry. I cussed online. Dang it! I'm getting banned by the problem is these boards are not coplanar, and I don't know how they got that way, to be honest with you. But you can see. See, maybe this board. Yeah, I need to move this board over. Like that, and then draw myself you see, then it's wanting to I'm going to turn this off or move this out of the way. Delete these lines. You see how I could have just, what in the world? This is this kind of stuff that just absolutely drives me batty. And I see right here, right there, some kind of weird little thing. And this really, I mean, this is why I build stuff and I don't sit around and draw all this crap all day long, because this kind of stuff absolutely drives me nuts. And I'm getting ready to just the problem with SketchUp is that you can't well, one thing you can do is just grab all this and say intersect faces with context. How about model? No intersections found. Absolute madness. Absolute madness. Wait. And I know there's some SketchUp nerd out there right now going, ha ha ha, look at this fool. I'm just going to continue down this. Now see, if this is on the right plane, I should just be able to grab that part right there. And I think I'm getting ready just to forget all this for today. Just move on to something else because it's driving me nuts. Which is sad because I was wanting to show you let's see if I can do it this way. Yeah, I think I just figured out a way to do it and rig it. I'm just trying to show you how this stuff is built. I'm going to delete this. There we go. You see, I could have taken my saw and I could have cut all that crap faster. But what I'm going to do is, you can see the problems I'm having with this. So it's going to be like in real life. It's not perfect. Then you would just take this fascia board and it would come down here and it would rest there. You see, the whole point is you got to get this board. Let's get out of this. You got to get this board. Oh, look, I got some crap right here hanging in the air. But you can see how once you finally get it right, it's nice and neat looking. And then what you do is you cut this fascia board, this 1x8, to, let's see how I can avoid the plague on this one. Yeah, you see, I got the same problem. What it is these boards are, since this whole thing, this whole wing of the house is at a 45-degree angle to the axis, and then these boards that I'm putting up aren't perfectly perpendicular to the rest, so to some of this other stuff, and so what it's doing is causing me really much pain. What I need to do is, if I can get out of this whole issue quickly as possible, draw myself sort of a reference line here and then move this away from the other piece, because what's happening is no matter what I do, my cursor is snapping to the piece that I don't want it to snap to. Okay, so if I get on this point, you see, I should be able to select I'm just going to delete that little mother, and I'm going to come in. I know I'm on that point now, and this should be horizontal. So I should be able to get myself horizontal. That is just amazing how I can't get that to snap. So I get horizontal again and lock that, and then come over. Let me just grab this point right here and move it up. That's what I'll do. Just have to work around all this mess. Like that, one way or the other. I'm not going to let it beat me. So then you would cut that like that, and you would bring it down and let it sit like that. You see? That's how it would work. Just like that. Have we gotten close on 8 little feet? Have taken an hour. Could have built it in 30 minutes. Can you hear the frustration in my voice? I worked in architecture for almost 10 years, and we used AutoCAD for the most part. But well, that's your problem right there. That's the problem right there. You see, once I extended that out, I could see that's the problem. Now tell me how brown cow did that happen? What I'm going to do is take these 4 lines, and I'm going to move their ass over to that point right there. You're going to move whether you like it or not. Why don't that just snap to that? Just snap. Just snap to it. What in the world? So I'm going to figure out what is going on here, and probably it's not going to allow me to push it over. So anyway, I see what's happened. Since this was not level, it started me off on a path of unrighteousness. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to select one of these lines. Let's see if I can get. God, I can't even get it to cooperate. I'm going to take this line and this line and see if I can get it to go over there. Oh my God, what in the world? is that making that move? Is this haunted? Oh, that was an optical illusion. Yeah, okay. Yeah, this ain't gonna work. This should... What I don't understand is these... I should be able to move that over. How about that? What if I just delete your ass? How about that? I know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna copy this. I know it has to be on the same plane as that. And I'm gonna bring it out here. And I'm gonna make this, I'm gonna explode it and then make it a group. Because it used to be a, I'm gonna put it right there. Then I'm gonna make you 3/4 of an inch thick. Yep. That. The only thing is, this would be 7 1/4 inches wide. And I can't push pull that. I can, but I'll have to cut this part off, which is no big deal. Now you see how that worked? If this is, everything's coplanar, I can just do this with my push-pull tool, you know, like that. Now let's see if we can go down here and get it to cooperate. I have no illusions. Nope. See if it's done properly, you'll be able to, you'll get 2 different faces. Yeah, I see now. Yeah. There we go. Have I regained my sanity? I don't know. Maybe not. But you see, then really the only joint you've got to paint and caulk is that right there. That's one way to do it. Well, I spent an hour doing this one little section. But that's how you would do it. No comments. I wouldn't have any comments either if I were you. I'd be really disgusted. Now here, on the gable end, what you would do is you would just nail a 2x2 up at the same width as the something tells me this ain't gonna work either. That's the way this end has been going. I'm just gonna test it here. I'm gonna make myself a 2x2. I can't do it, can I? I'm just trying to draw a line, dude. I ain't trying to draw. There we go. Now I'm scared. And then this 2x2 would just run down in here wild. She'd be wild. Just however far you want it to go. And then it would go all the way up. As far as it'll go, cheer. Grab that on the end. Well, it would stop. Where the bottom of it hits, sort of in the middle, right there. I got something in my eye. Now, I'm doing this for the purposes of showing you how this would be done. I'm not going to go around the entire house doing this. I don't think that would be very entertaining or very wise for my mental state. So what I'm trying to do now is grab this piece of soffit, and where's that little corner? Put this corner right here. And then turn it. Like that. And then run it all the way over to the house like that, and it should be, well, that's right, this piece was cut, should be the same width, Yeah, it should be the right width. And see, then this piece just gets, now you really should put blocking in here. Let's just go and show that. Where am I? Did I not put the 2x2 in the, I'll have to go back and check my groups. To make sure everything's pasted in the right group. But I should have blocking here. There's 3.5, 3.5, back down, make myself a group out of that. And then that would just be, that would come over to the back of my barge rafter. Like that, and then you just move it down to where it's kind of supporting the both this piece and the piece that's coming down. And you'd put these every 2 feet. So if I was going to copy this up, let's just say there's times 12. See how many that got me. So see, you'd have blocking every 2 feet. Let's get up here where I can see. Yeah, I got one extra one. Oh, that's right. This is the shorter rafter. That's a bit of an overkill. But really, you'd slide this one up to where you'd really start probably from the top and go down. This one would be up here. That'd be the best place for it. And then maybe you go 2 feet on center. But Soffit's only 16 inches wide, so it's not like you need a bunt. You know, it's not like it's 2 feet wide, and those blocks are super critical. And then this piece would simply come down and be fitted to that, like that, where it fits well, butting into that one. And then this piece goes all the way up, and there's no venting on the gable end. Yeah, I can grab the end of it. And then this piece would just go up and be at the center too. If I can get a view on it. Yeah, there we go. It just goes up and meets the other one coming from, or you could run this one up kind of wild and then butt the other one into it. Like that. I have just run them up before. Run one side up to where it kind of hits, hits that, and then the other one can come up and butt into that. Give you a clean look, give you a good way to caulk it there. Now, so that's the, but you can see, let me get out of this roof. You can see how clean that is and how, how that works. Well, and again, I could have built that faster than drawing it if the scaffolding and everything was already set up. So what I'm going to do now is, since I'm not getting many comments or questions, I'm going to probably I need to go around and put all the windows in. I don't think I've got a window that I'm happy with. I need to go get I've got another job. What was it? Was it my house? Let me save this. Yeah, I think it was my house. I made some really cool windows. I'll say my house. If I sell, where's my perspective here? If I sell, and I've been working on some ideas. Wait a minute, I thought I made a window. Did I turn the windows off? Yeah, I turned the windows off because I never went back and, let's see, where is that? Yeah, I just made some simple windows. Let's see. But you can see, this is kind of funny because you can see here, you know, and I'll show you a video. This is just kind of the rough thing I do. Where's the, I thought I had one that had everything turned on. Let's see, front perspective. That had all the site stuff turned on and everything. Slope plane. Is that it? Yeah. I have a rendering somewhere that has all the, you know, landscaping and everything. But I don't get anal about drawing work when it's one of my projects. But if it's for somebody else and they're trying to get prices from a contractor, obviously we will do that. I'm going to copy this window and then I'm going to go back to Texas job. But you can see I never went back and put the windows in. I changed the configuration of the windows on this job and I never went back because I didn't need to. If I'm building it for myself, I'm just going to do enough drawings and then I can paste this. Paste. Now see, I've got to get it. Now see, this is on this axis, so maybe I'll start before I drive myself crazy again with this. I'll put it right here. And I don't think he's going to want that wide trim on there. I should have asked him. They were supposed to look at windows. I need to test something right quick too. I got this crazy little app that puts cladding I think I was supposed to select the corners too. What I'm testing to see is if I need to delete the stuff in here, the divider. I was just showing that divider to indicate windows, a double window. I don't really need it in there. But this would have stone. Let's see. Below gable stone. Where's cornerstone 2 level 2. I don't remember which stone I picked. I'll just go with that. And then parameters. Facade. It's 1 level. 1 level. Cladding. There we go. stone type. I think I can't remember what stone type I had picked. I need to write this down. I need to just pick a simple one that's easy to render, because he's going to pick out but I do want something that looks good, kind of like that. This is all too busy. Yeah, I like, which one was it? This one. And modern smooth stone with grout. Let's see if that'll work. Yeah, I'm going to do all this stone work. You can see I was testing it over here, but yeah, there we go. It takes a while, and then it takes up. So see, it added a layer. It added it to that little mullion. And what I'm going to have to do is build myself a little. I'm going to undo this because I need to build myself a little wall. Not a wall, but a facade that comes down, and the window openings need to be as big as the trim. That's what I was testing, just to see what it looks like. But you can see here it stopped. What I'll have to do is build myself a facade that stone will go on. So I'm going to undo that, and I'm going to, I'll eventually get rid of that one over there. It's not right either. But you can see how long it took to render just that one little wall. So I think what I'm going to do is get rid of these little dividers, and then it will not want to put the stone. Oh. Get rid of that line. But what I need to do is develop some window types, and so that I can label them. And this is just a plain kind of casement window, and I think I've started to like the let's see, select. There's a glass that's not as blue looking. Yeah, so when I go to print these, it's a mirror. That's a mirror. This is it. And then I want to edit that to make it lighter. Well, that doesn't help any, does it? Yeah. Okay. So that's like a translucent, so that you can see through it. But on this, I think what I'm going to do is show this trim as 2.5, because that's the most common size. And oops, I had that. I used that wider, what was that, 1 inch? Yeah. So I had that, so I just need to push this back 1 inch. I had that wider trim on my house, but that's kind of a custom thingamabob. And is that a face? Yeah. With that stone, I don't think most people don't want to see that wide trim if they've got stone on their house. I'm going to set this up as like a standard window, and then where I have mold windows, I should have got rid of those lines. First. Push it up. There we go. And that is a typical, let's see, 54-inch. Yeah, that's right. And this is 32. I need to move it over a little bit. There. That's good. I made all that one thing, so I don't have to miss. How far did I come over? Dang it. Should have checked it. God help me. Jesus help me. Jesus, just get me through the day. Put myself inside the wall. 2 1/4. I put my camera inside the wall, I guess. Jesus, I did it again. I want to put a warning on this video. This video sucks. Do not watch this video. Can't see. It just sucks big time. There we go. Now, that's a standard. Probably don't have any of those anywhere. Yeah, I do. I got one right here. So I can take this one. What I need to do is move these out Now, do I have a window layer? Watch me, I've already built a window. How much you want to bet? No, good. I remember making some windows in the one project, and I can't remember where they were. But, or maybe it might have been doors. So that's one window type right there. Then another window type will be a double window like that, so that what will happen there is that's why I made the trim separate, is you'll have a, so make this unique. And then I would have, let's see, this would go here, but then come back 3/8. Is that right? What's going on? Oh, I must have gotten this window. I didn't make this window. That means that one's, I remember now I got this window from, but I didn't, since it was in my house, I didn't worry with going around and fixing all the little, like that face right there needs to be reversed. Little details like that I ignored on mine. But on this one, I want it to be a little nicer. So since we're going to have a double now, I will put myself a line here. Zoom in a little bit better. There we go. And then bring that on over to there. And then measure what this is. Should be 2 1/4. 2 1/2. And a half. Oh, I said 2 1/2. That's right, not 2 1/4. That is right. That is right. That goes 2 1/4 from here. 2 1/2. Jesus, I can't keep it straight. Then go up here, make myself a line across here, and just wrap it around. Is that right? Oop, that didn't work. There we go. And you got yourself a double window, just like that. So that'll be type B. Let's see. Gotta get rid of this construction line. So then what you do is you start to build yourself types, and they're unique. Like this is a component, and then this is a component. So if I have 5 of these and he changes, you know, if he wants to put mullions in there or something, I can just go back and change one of them. So this window here then would go here. And I can just adjust the, bring it out. And what I can do is turn off the roof. This is easier from the inside of the house. Let's see, is it, let's put this right here for now. It's funny what you think you're looking at. And 3D modeling is sometimes not what you think you're looking at. I just want that to be flat with the wall to begin with. And I'm going to go turn off the roof, decking, framing, material, the second floor. And then I can see easily walls, second floor. I can get this window centered properly. And get the jamb right thickness. Yeah, that's supposed to be 1 inch thick. We'll use that 5/4, and then this should be extended to in here. Okay, why are you doing that? I say to myself, am I not using a, oh boy. We're not using a jamb. That we can extend. Oh, good Lord, what is going on here now? Good Lord. This must be some manufacturer's window that I got. Dadgummit. You would think I was far enough away from that wall so that I wouldn't get stuck in the wall looking at this stupid window. So I'm going to have to extend the jambs on these things to 6.5. Yeah. See if I can do it easily, or is it going to be a pain? See what I grabbed here. What did I grab? I was afraid of that. Let's turn the camera to parallel projection. So if we can just grab that, look like that worked. Yeah, that worked. Let's see. Get rid of those construction lines. Just go down here and grab this. See if I can do it without having to turn the camera. I remember it was 2 15/16. The other one got moved out. Yeah. Or 1 15/16. What? What? What in the world? Oh, give me a break. Oh. How did that happen? Good thing I checked that. From there to there is 6.5. Today is just not my day. There we go. Everything should be cool now, he said. But this is the kind of junk you can run into if you're not careful. Just get little gremlins in your drawing. And we want this to be in the center of this wall, so I'm going to check that too while I'm at it. I'm going to grab the center right here, midpoint. I'm not out of my does that mean I put that line, that construction line, in the window. I meant to put it not in the window. And then I was going to move this window, and then I was going to adjust the opening around it. Let's see. Yeah, well then I need to make sure why is that not? That's 6.5, and if this is 6.5, why is that not lining up? On the corner, maybe. There we go. Just sometimes amazes me. Seven feet, yeah. Just wanted to double check to see if that was 7 feet. So did we keep our center? Yep. Now I can build, now I can take this wall and let's see. The thing about it is I want these, I do need these walls to be, for now I'm going to bring them just up to the jamb. Yeah. So it doesn't look funny. And that'll get easier once I don't have to, once I'm not changing the window types, you know, fixing the window every time I turn around, that'll get easier. So now I got to go back to check to see why this is not. Well, let's see. Some of these are not going to have. Yeah, all the windows will be 6.5. That's right. They'll all be on a 6.5 inch wall, even upstairs. Hey, John Z. 1251. Oh, sorry you've been sitting there so long. I haven't had many comments, so I haven't been checking. But I'm working on putting windows in. Earlier I was working on, what is this? What is this thing? Let me turn on my roofing. Decking. What is that? Is that part of my decking? Yeah. It should be actually part of that group. Not sure why it's not. Another gremlin poking its little head up. But oh, thank you. Nice project. Yeah, it's pretty nice. A lot involved. He's going to have this pool. I don't know. I haven't got any feedback from him on this pool yet. I just grabbed this off 3D Warehouse. Well, it didn't have steps on the back, so I just mirrored these steps. And but I think if it was me, I'd probably want planters. I'd probably want to do away with some of these steps, like have a little wall here with a planter area. I don't know. That just seems like, you know, too much of a Roman Colosseum effect there. But what I'm trying to do now is put some windows in. And I just noticed that my window type had didn't have jambs for the thicker walls. All his walls are going to be 2x6 walls. Let's see, that's 4 9/16 is a regular wall jamb. So we're going to make this 6.5. Let's see. Let's get into that. quite sure why I can't grab that. It's a mystery. I'm going to change this to parallel projection so I can see, just to grab that little edge all the way around like that, and then I can make sure I don't have anything else. Yeah, so that window will have, all the windows will have these extended jambs on them like that. And this window is a type that will go, let's see, let's turn it around here. 90. Thick panes, yeah. It'll be it'll be a 1/2 inch glass with argon gas. Your typical low E configuration. Let's see, I got to turn this one around again, don't I? Got to turn it back the other way. I should have left it. Let's see, it needs to go this way. 280, 280, oh, 270. What am I doing? Can't even. Should be one or 90 that way. There we go. I was trying to spin it around too far, but I had sent this. To the owner for feedback, and they haven't got back with me on the windows yet. Is that 54 inches? How big did I make these? 5 feet. I need to get that worked out though, because I just realized that my typical window is 54 inches tall, which is 4'6" by 32 inches wide, and I had them drawn as 5 feet tall, which I kind of like the proportions of this better. Yeah, it's Texas. Texas, after all, although, you know, it gets kind of hot in Texas, so you do need that argon gas, low E, triple pane windows. Now, the reason I needed feedback was because like this was a window I grabbed off of. Now this is just not practical. You see, this is like an older style. This window, you can tell I got it out of 3D Warehouse because it's just not real. They really don't make these. We really don't do these window sills like they used to back in the old days. Well, that just got rid of the whole opening and everything, didn't it? Yeah, that window was cutting its own opening in the wall. I need to get this stuff in the right layer. This stuff is supposed to be in the roofing layer. Oh, roofing material is supposed to be turned off. Okay. Okay. We're going to put this in the roof framing. Oh, that's carport. Turn that off right now. It's funny, there's not that many windows on the first floor. Let's put these two in. Copy this one. Copy. Let's see, I'm going to have to go inside and put it at the right height. How did that happen? How did I get that at the right height? That doesn't make any sense. Did I just get lucky? Guess I did. That's weird. I'm going to suggest that he bring those up because to 54 because he doesn't really need to be that close to the floor, especially in bedrooms. These windows easily meet egress requirements. They're 54 inches. A casement window is easy. You only have to have 20 inches in width, and it just has to be within 42 inches of the floor. So those windows easily meet egress requirements. And it's funny, there's not a whole lot of windows. Well, there's a bunch right here. I gotta figure out how I'm gonna draw these. Where was the other windows? Over here. These are gonna have some kind of a, I guess, some kind of a transoms. I haven't really got that past him yet, so I don't know if I want to put those in yet or not. But I like the triple if it overlooks the pool, unless you go for a glass door. Overlooks the pool. Well, this, I mean, let me turn the roof back on. The main, yeah, the problem is on these, in these bedrooms, that if you go, these are guest bedrooms and they're not that large. And if you start plastering 3 triple windows in there, you kind of wasted a bed wall. You know, you really want 2 walls you can put a bed on. So right here's one. You know, so in these guest bedrooms, you don't want to, you know. Let's see, that's a. Although I do have a double, but this is on the front of the house, so that's kind of different. But back here, you know, you're going to be looking out this is your big, you know, series of windows here to be gazing at the pool. Here, I'm not so sure it would do much good. Again, the wall's not that big, and you know, you got all this stuff in the way. So now I did have triple windows for this dining room, but let's look at that. I'm thinking about just using the same type framing. I need to put all this stuff in the same layer so it'd be easy to turn on and off, but I think here, let's see. How big was that? 7 foot. So I gotta just do this the easy way. I'll draw myself a line on here, put my center there. I think I'm just going to go ahead and show this double. The guy, you know, he's like me, he's kind of frugal. So I think I'm going to, so that would be 7 foot, 2.5. I think I'm just going to show one of these windows. Copy it and put it over here. They're wide enough so that a double should be fine. Now that's is that 7 feet off? Oh, look at that. That's weird, isn't it? Something is going on. Something is going on weird. Oh, ah. That's odd. Weird. I feel like I'm not 7 feet off the floor. But I am. Let's see. I need to be in the wall layer. Something is wrong here. Let's turn off the windows for a second. Yeah, that's what I thought. What is going on? I've been having these gremlins all day long. I'm going to turn the windows off now. And I'm going to come up 7 feet. 54. That's what it's supposed to do. If you use that push-pull tool and you push that face out, it should just, and you get it right, it should just delete itself and you have an opening. You know, it goes all the way through. That was weird. There was something left over from that old window or something in the wall. Very odd. But again, that was a window that I got off of now I need to make this bigger. Make sure I'm not too big here. Now what happened here to my window? Something. Now this is the nice thing about having components, is now I can copy this window out here away from all this other mess and figure out what happened to my window. I know what happened when I was bringing these dang it. I think what I'm going to do is delete this one, delete this side, and replace it with this one, which is a good one. Right. Yeah. Or is it? Yeah, okay, it's weird. Very weird. Now, since I made that a component, this one should be fixed too. It's still kind of odd looking though, but it'll be fine. Then I can just delete this one. So then I've got that same window in here. I need to get rid of this little bar. I was just trying to indicate with these little bars that those were doubles before I put the actual windows in there. Still want to look at that because it still seems very strange. What I should have done was made this actually should be a component. There's still something weird about it. Yeah. Yeah, I was missing that line at the bottom. That's odd. So now what I need to do is delete this one. Put myself a reference line here first. And I'm going to make this a component. So if I have to change it again, both of them will change. There. I need to turn it around. Oh. I never went out of the window. I was wondering what was going on. Should be 180. that right there, and I can slide her down. Slide her down. And I'll come back and put the interior trim on later when I figure out what that's going to be. Okay, thanks, John. So I'm going to continue to work on fascia and all that good stuff, and hopefully I'll have better luck. Turn my carport back on. Walls, second floor, I'm going to put windows there. Floor, second floor, and put this window in. I'm going to continue to put windows in. There's a double, and I'll go and start putting all this Soffit stuff on, and send some more progress to the owner. We're trying to get this to where we can do elevations that we can send to the bank, and that's what I'm working on now. I'm trying to get all my fascia boards on, all the roofing material. You can see kind of already started the metal roof, and if I get all my fascia and metal roof, windows and doors and siding and whatever, garage doors, then we can do some exterior elevations, and then we can do our floor plan, which is that. Get that going, get it on a page, get it on a title block. Plan perspective, yeah, okay. Get it so I can get his turned off all my layers, didn't I? I need to save that. I need to save that as my perspective. Update that. Okay, so that's enough torture for people watching today. I don't feel like I got a lot done because I was messing around with this. What I should have done was I should have picked a soffit to work on that was on the axis of the drawing. This was weird, so I let this being at a 45-degree angle and me trying to draw perpendicular to that gave me a few little problems, but you can see how, once you start boxing that in versus this, you can kind of tell. Hopefully that gave you an idea of how soffits are built. And then what I'm going to do here is I'll draw a surface over all this framing and stuff, and that will be what I apply my cladding to, the stone or the siding. But I appreciate you guys watching. I know these videos are long, but I'm trying to document some stuff for the owner. Thanks a bunch.